Hello, hi. Welcome back to the Me versus Me podcast. This is episode 28 now. And so, I took a little bit of a hiatus off, but I'm back fully loaded. Got all my equipment set up. I'm right now recording this with my Sony EV10 camera, and this is my Shure microphone. I think it's a 58, right? My Focusrite interface, Scarlett 2i2. On my MacBook, right? And so let me turn this down a little bit. Yeah, I don't want to kill you guys with the audio. And the reason why I tell you guys this is because one of the things that I always tell people is that it's very possible to do what I'm doing. All you have to do is just go do it. There's nothing stopping you unless it's like financial or some sort of like disability or circumstance. But even then, think about it. There's people nowadays who have access to resources that they never did, and that's incredible, including some of the things that you're able to do with the internet now. I can record all of this from my house. I used to have to run an office space, maybe hire a camera crew, and then probably they would do the editing, or I would have to invest like thousands of dollars into fancy equipment. It's no longer like that anymore. The reason why I bring this up to you is because you too can do what I'm doing. So this is more an episode about something else, but I just wanted to remind you guys about that, because I'm in a communications 101 class. And, if they ever were to come back and watch this episode, you know, it's a perfect way to introduce them into some of the art that I do. And so, I think that's very positive to be able to show people, enlighten people, just help out others, because I don't know what somebody else's message is. I only know what I'm telling you guys right now and what you guys are, whatever you're going to learn from me. So that was just kind of like a disclaimer, if you will, or just like a random thing that I was talking about. So what I really wanted to make the episode about, right, is I was doing an assignment where I had to do a speech, right? It's called Message in the Music for my Communications 101 class, right? Shout out to Barbara Anderson. She's my professor over there. It's all online and stuff, but Pierce College, taking these community classes, man. Back in college now. And so here I go. I'm taking this class, right? And one of the subjects happens to be message in the music. Okay, go figure, right? I make music. I like to get involved and in creative projects. Here I go on my Me versus Me podcast. And a lot of other stuff that I do, TikTok content creator. So everything that I've been doing for the last, let's say, year and a half now, and I'm pretty sure it's reflected in my other episodes, but everything that I've been doing has kind of, prepared me in a way for this stuff, that this assignment, if you will. So I have to create an outline, which is new for me because, as a public speaker, you think just go out there, just give it your best shot and just hope for the best, when there's notes. There's literally people taking notes on this stuff, and I never thought that. There's a whole outline that I've been writing, super helpful, by the way. Also, some of the I want to say the verbal nonverbals that I'm learning too, just super awesome, right? None of this taken away from the fact that the episode's going to be about something different. I just kind of wanted to enlighten you guys about some of the stuff that I've been learning, because this is a Me versus Me channel. So the Me versus Me from before was super lazy about it, and I just wanted to come out here and put on a good show, but it lacked. And so now I'm looking to renew that with some positivity and a whole new fresh approach that's going to hopefully make this a better channel, if you will. So anyways, moving back to my original story. So this message in the music thing was supposed to be about a way that you could find a message in a song, and our speech was supposed to be about that. 4 to 5 minutes long, easy, right? I chose Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle's Victory Lap album and his Victory Lap song, featuring Stacey Barth, back in 2018, Atlantic Records. Man, it was motivational. So I suppose you have me, who's not probably like the best reflection of street life, but I've done okay for myself. The glory be to God, because I did not get here by myself. but I know what that's like, right? So when I'm explaining whatever it is that this song is making me feel or what I'm reminded of, sometimes I have to identify certain mentalities that I had in those moments that made me feel like this song is empowering. But some of the places that I was kind of gathering influence from were not healthy places. And it was just what the circumstances were like. We were strong, we were young, we were struggling. I say that me and my family, me and a couple cousins and stuff, we all grew up kind of like rough or hard, but we never had it better than everybody else, nor did we have it worse than everybody else. It's just how it was. So this song actually meant a lot to me. Now, I thought it was such a positive message because you look at him, right? He's a gang aficionado. He's actually somebody who has merit in that lifestyle. Now, I'm not in no way glorifying gang lifestyles, right? But I live in Los Angeles, San Fernando Valley, so it's common. I grew up with that stuff. It's all over the place. Like I said, I know I don't look like the best representative, but if I don't practice what I preach, how would I ever know what I'm preaching? Or should I say, if I forget about where I came from, how would I ever know where I'm going? Scratch that. That's not what I want to say either. Let's see. What could I say? I guess it's safe to say that I don't know what I would like to say about that portion yet. Input generic influential quote right there, just whatever you want to put. But me right now, I don't have all the answers. So but I know I don't look like some of the struggles that I've been through, but that doesn't mean I haven't been through them. And sometimes I find that I struggle with my old mentality versus my new mentality. Old mentality was thinking fast, hard, and you had to have a certain edge, a sharpness. Nowadays it's different because I walk with Christ, and let me tell you, if you ever want hard, you should try being vulnerable. That is not easy to do. If I could ever tell you guys one thing, it would be the essence of vulnerability is leaving yourself open to things, and being closed off and guarded is more of a defense than it is offense. So you can be hard, you can be strong, you could be very well guarded, but that doesn't take a lot of strength to do. To be vulnerable in a situation where you're leaving yourself open and then trusting in God, biggest struggle I've had up to date. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. I'm not lying to you. Biggest challenge, man. Ooh, especially when people come around with their attitudes, and I'm just like, you know what? God bless you. God bless you, because I do not have it today, and I'm gonna try my best to do what it is that I'm thinking that I'm communicating with the Lord about. And on any given day, that might be something different, but still got to practice what I preach, right? Because if you know me from the TikTok content, I'm always putting something out there. I'm always trying to do a positive message. I always want you guys to feel like you guys are getting something from me that you probably didn't have to go the hard route to go find yourselves. And I think that sometimes the world can be very closed off to, the innocence, the naiveness, let's just say the people coming up who don't already possess that education. Sometimes it could be a very like bothersome thing for some people, and it's just what I've noticed, being young, growing up with the older generations. They didn't have time for my stuff. I mean, thankfully, God blessed me with a lot of people who did provide to me, a skill set, a mentality, an idea for me to chew on, I digest, and then just turn into whatever else, create a better mentality for myself. But it's not like that with everybody. That was just people showing me love, so that's what I like to do with you guys. But for the people who go out there in the world, it's challenging because not everybody's out there for you. Certain people are just trying to pay their bills, and I get that. And you know what? More power to you, because I hope you pay your bills. I want you to succeed. I want you to never have to stress and struggle again. But certain people, that's just the lifestyle that they lead because that's how they were raised. and there's more to it. And I'm not gonna get all like philosophical or like deep. I'm gonna go back into the message and the music in a bit, but just a little bit of context, just to kind of give you some of the I want to say the method to my madness, because there is no secret sauce. It's just you get out there and try a bunch of stuff, and you get it going, and eventually someone might ask you a question, and that might be a question that you feel like it's for some stuff that you feel like you kind of got figured out. So here we go, right? That's that. That's all. It's just showing love. So but I'm listening to this song and I'm explaining it to my classmate, my class members, classmates. We're all online, so I'm gonna say classmates. And one of the things that I'm able to kind of like do is use the personality that I have from this podcast persona, I guess. I don't know what we call it. You see me in like real life. This is kind of how I am too. Maybe a little bit different because I don't have a camera stuck to my face. But this is what it is. And so I'm trying to take in the knowledge that my professor's teaching me. She has lectures. I'm writing notes, trying to be a better podcaster to present this struggle of life, if you will call it, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an advantage, if you will, of some of the obstacles that I face, or that maybe you'll face, or someone else that is facing, or even some random stranger. That the difficulty isn't from other people. The difficulty is within yourself. And that's something that pretty much inspired me to make this podcast. Well, also, if I'm being true, I felt like God told me to rest, and I got stressed out because I didn't know how to do that. And so I made a podcast. And that's real. That's really how it went for me. I just don't do well with resting, but I'm looking forward to being the better version of myself that knows when to work and work hard at it, but also knows when to rest because it's good for me. It's good for my soul. And it might just be what I'm called to do in some instances. Maybe, maybe not. But I'll take that up with God, not y'all. So going through some of the things that I like about the song. And the song is like so dope, so deep. This guy, he's got merit in the street life, but he's also talking about investing. He's talking about giving back to the community. He's not just talking about like regular stuff in the hip hop, that like the hip hop culture, and we get like, we get women, we do this. Like, he did the stuff, and he did the stuff to the point to where he can influence people who are in that lifestyle, to motivate them even to strive for better, because he's been there, he's done that, but he had goals. So I thought that was like super positive, because at the time I'm like, going through life like, man, I need something. Like, I would have loved to have had any type of guidance that was going to be able to just give me the key to get me out of my circumstances, but I had to go through some stuff. And so when I'm going through the stuff, I hear this music coming from this artist who had just recently passed away at the time. I was like, who is this guy? Go back, listen to every album he's ever played. I get to the one that kind of made me pay attention to who he was, because he had a song called Hustle and Motivate. And I was like, I don't know what, but this song right here is the one for me. This is the one. And I go back to this guy's catalog, like, all right, what else are you talking about? And as I'm listening to his stuff, I'm like, dude, it's been like this since the get. I love that. So I listen to everything up until the point where you get to Victory Lap, the album. And then you hear the song Victory Lap, and you ever want to see me going at the gym? I'm playing that in my headphones. There's also Ellie Goulding Lights. I don't know why, but that song just got and I'm like, push-ups, weights. Like, I don't know, but I just go in, with those two songs. So this particular guy, man, he did it. He was in jail. He was solid. He was giving back to the community. And he was also influencing people to invest in property. Like, come on. Like, that's not a conversation that you hear in the hood. Like, my peoples, if you know what it's like to grow up in Los Angeles or any place that's kind of like ghetto or whatever, they really don't talk about that. I mean, yeah, you might have a neighbor who talks about it, but that's probably because he wants a better life for his family. But don't we all? But we're talking about somebody who's doing it, been through it in a way that is like even the streets can respect it, you know? He was a Crip and he had Bloods who respected him. They showed him love. YG, like those are some of the things that can make someone be like, this person has ethos. They got credibility, right? And his pathos is like in all of this, he's making everybody feel his message in a way that inspires them to dig deep and search for who they're really meant to be and what they really want to do, and not just some of the stuff that everybody else is glorifying. Because when you're confused, let me just tell you, sometimes anything can seem like the best thing to do, but that's not always the best idea. Sometimes you really have to dig a little deep and you really got to grind. You really got to get that work in if you're going to do anything that's going to make you feel like I did that. Regardless if it's one step, two step, baby step, half a step back, three steps back, but at the end of the day, you still move forward some because in a way you remembered something, so you applied that to your technique this time. And it's a lot of crazy stuff. But for the younger generations, I mean, where do you look up to? You know, where is this straight line? So there's a lot of stuff going on in my head as I'm approaching this or presenting this to my classmates. And it just came with the realization that I used to have a fascination for the street life, and in a way that I didn't want to be one of the guys that's like, I didn't want to be like a top gang member. I didn't want to be like somebody who was the crazy killer guy on the block. I just wanted to be able to live my life without boundaries. I'm sorry, not boundaries, without limits, because it's just what was available to me. This is what I had going on. And as I got older and I grew, I start to see different lifestyles. I start to see different things that are going on in the world that people are actually doing. And they have no clue about the lifestyle that I have been through or what I've been brought up with, but that so many people around me could relate to. It's just that they couldn't relate to some of that stuff because I was the only one seeing it. And that's true. Some of my people, they're still there. And that's all right because I go back to them and I kick it and I show love and I try to come back with some of the knowledge, the wisdom, if they'll listen. Because who am I at the end of the day, other than just one person who probably looked at something and was like, yeah, no, that's cool. I'll be there right now. But dang, like, what if life could be different? What if something else could happen and it wouldn't look like this? Would I be okay with that? Would I be open? Would I have that positivity? Would I be able to appreciate this new lifestyle without being self-sabotaging? Would I have the dedication, the discipline to sacrifice what I know I love, what I know I like, in order to take a risk that's going to push me, motivate me to take a step that is scary, by the way, but it's going to take me to a whole different, beyond my wildest of dreams? Well, I'm sure you guys hear me talk about God a lot. So let me tell you something. Uh, I really don't know where I'm headed, where I'm going, but I trust God is there. So it's okay. It's going to be all right. And I want to say that to any of you guys who feel like, you don't know what's going on, or it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine. Right? Pray to God, say your quick little, say it from the heart, really say it, and then go. Get it done. It's all right. It's going to be all right. You don't have to be some movie star. You don't have to be some top gang leader for the block. Sometimes being a man is just showing up, paying bills, and loving your family in the best way that you know how, right? And then still trying to get better every day, because not all of us got to enjoy our childhoods. So sometimes we got to wait until we have a clear space in order for us to just take a breath and stretch our mental legs, metaphoric mental legs, I guess. So I know I'm kind of ranting, everyone, but still back to the message in the music. This is what this made me think of. And like, she's like, pick a song, something that you feel like you can speak about. And I'm like, let me tell you, I got one. But like, in a way that I gotta use what she's teaching me or what the class is showing us. And I have to like do it in this order, in this method. I'm like, that's cool. So I do like the structure aspect of it, because anybody who knows me or has ever seen me on the show, you guys know you guys straight up know that your boy was kind of reckless and wild when he was young. It's true. I mean, what other thing could I have gotten into that could have possibly possessed my mind to think that structure, stability, and positivity was the way to go? What could have done that for me? Because if you ever ask me and you know me from before and you see me now, you might not get the same feeling when I say, the glory be to God. If you know me from the perspective of positive dude, TikTok, whatever, you're going to be like, cool story, bro. But if you know me from before and I'm like, hey, bro, the glory be to God, you might just be like, that's crazy. All right, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in with you. I'm gonna check you out or something, whatever it is. Tap in with me later. It doesn't matter. But in all of this, I hope you guys understand, man. It was a process, and the glory be to God. Like, I had a conversation yesterday, and I think one of the most important details about that was the reason why I talk about Jesus Christ the way I talk about Jesus Christ is because he was there for me. He showed me love when I couldn't love myself. And I think that's a very positive thing to say to someone. But if you look at it like, if the person next to you was Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ showed you love, right? You'd be like, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And every time you saw Jesus, you'd be like, thank you. That's how it was for me. And in a way where it's like, I was just doing a bunch of stuff that I was finding I was good at, but there was no life in it. There was no me. There was no self love. Yeah, I did stuff out of obligation for people because that's how I was taught you do. Especially if you have family, you support that family. Especially if you have people who are good to you or friends, you support them. You be that strong pillar. But I didn't have that for me. And I found that through Jesus Christ. Or should I say, Jesus Christ found me first, showed it to me so I could show it to y'all. That's you. That's me to you. And I don't get nothing out of this. But the only thing I do get out of it is that maybe one day you're going to be able to show that to somebody else. That's it. That's it. Love. This is the Me versus Me podcast at the end of the day. So whether you go one way or you go the other way, I just pray that you're going to be able to become the best you that you could be and stop limiting yourself with crazy toxic mentalities. Some of the stuff that you see that's happening out in the world, that stuff doesn't matter, right? Because if it's of you, you're going to be doing better at what it is that you're doing than being who somebody else wants you to be, right? You can think for yourself. You can breathe in, you can smile, you can say no and not feel like you're going to be judged like that guy right there. Like, no, just being yourself. And that's always a mentality that I struggle with to this day, because I can't always perfect that. And I do love when I'm locked in because it's there, it's peace, it's love. But for all of you guys who have never experienced it, I would say go to God. And if you don't feel like you want to go to God, cool. But you got to know that eventually all roads lead to Rome. And that's fine, right? Because when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. But up until you get on that path, bro, sis, I'm going to tell you guys, man, look at me, look at anybody, know they're struggling from within. There's stuff that you don't see that's going on every day. It might be you and yourself. Sometimes the conversation in the mirror is the hardest that we can have, but it's a reflecting thing. It's self-reflection. It's knowing your shortcomings. But how could you accurately ever get a measure if you're not aware of where you're actually at? And I don't mean just like how you portray yourself in front of people. No, really know where you're at, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do the work, son. It's the only way you're gonna be able to do the work, son. Straight up. Yeah, so that was pretty much that. I mean, I'm thinking about all this stuff as I'm presenting the speech, and I think I presented it and got like a high B. And then she was even like, "Hey, yo, like, you gotta redo your outline," which I just did, by the way. Shout out to my professor. I hope you like it, cause I had to really sift through what I was saying in that and be like, "Oh wow, like public speakers really be having to organize their thoughts and stuff." which sounds pretty redundant. But when I came into this, it was it was less organized and just more about the fashion of doing stuff. Like, by the grace of God, podcast and just boom, 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 like momentum, like forward, let's go. I got an idea, I'm just running with it. And then season 4, episode 28, here I go realizing, like, well, if I'm not aware of what it is that I'm doing or where it is that I'm going, I'm probably not going to be much use to some of the people who are watching this right now and being like, yeah, bro, I like the way you're saying it, or yeah, some of the stuff I agree with, but that's just not me. More power to you. But I know what I'm trying to be. I know what I'm trying to do. So eventually I'll get there, you know? And in the meantime, don't judge yourself up until you get to wherever it is that you're trying to go. Be gentle, right? No need to be condescending. Everybody got some stuff going on. Focus on you. And that's the challenge, right? The me versus me mentality. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm in competition with me and who I am yesterday so I can become the person for tomorrow. If God, by his will, wants me there. Because if I'm able to be in tomorrow, then, I will partake. And if I'm able to be the best version of me that I could possibly be in tomorrow, then that's who I want to be. I don't want to be the staggered Richie who's back up against the wall, up against the ropes, and just scratching and clawing at everybody who comes my way because I got so many wounds in my heart that I'm just bleeding all over everybody. Wow. I got kind of deep right there and personal. Woo! But anyways, this is the real stuff. This is the, hey, yo, I love you guys. I want you guys to grow. And how am I going to be able to show you that if I don't show you who I am first, so that way you guys can get an actual reflection, feedback. And if you guys apply it, then awesome. But just don't forget, see that sunlight, you know what that sunlight does? It's good for your skin, right? But that's life. That means that you got another day, another opportunity. You don't have to have it perfect right now, but you do have chances. You do have the opportunity. And you could be whoever you want by the appropriate measures if certain opportunities haven't left you yet. And Siri just scared the hell out of me, y'all. I think that was kind of weird, but whatever. If those opportunities haven't missed you yet, then I think that if you include God in your plans, if God is for you, who can be against you? And if you have the opportunity and you're taking those measures, you could probably get there. I don't want to say that you're most definitely, because what if that's not who you're supposed to be? But it's what you want to do until you get there and realize that that's not what you really want. So you end up going a different way, and that's what you really want. And then you decide that that's actually where you want to be. But from where you started, that's not where you were supposed to go. Where you started, you were supposed to go to this thing, but you got there and decided, nah, I'm going to go this way, or I'm going to go that way, or I'm going to just keep going and then figure out what I like then. There's more to it. It's not black and white. It's full of colors. Thank you guys for watching the Me versus Me podcast. I love y'all. Be safe. Follow me on Instagram. That's RYMEZ_818. If you want to follow me on my TikTok channel, that's medium you ugly. So check me out on that. Friends and family. I'm going to be trying to get you guys on the podcast. Just keep up with me. Tap in. Follow up for more. Love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And the glory be to God. The blessing continues in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Goodbye. I told you what I aim on. You hit me with a damn fine. Look what it's become. I'm so calm, I'm so calm. I'm so calm, I'm so calm. I told you what I aim on. You hit me with a damn fine. Look what it's become. I'm so calm, I'm so calm. I'm so calm.